Heroes Return, Chapter 6, The Great Fairy. We're here. Saria stopped in front of a normal-looking tree. Now let's hope the Great Fairy will help us. But that's just a tree. Malon finally caught up with Mido just behind her. I thought we would be looking for a cave. Mido began to laugh at this. Haha, we told you that she was protected. Why would she hide in an easily accessible cave? Minnow, you know she's not a part of the forest, so leave her alone. She turned her attention back to the tree. Now let's hope that we can all pass through. Malon looked more confused than she ever had. Pass through? They lined up together in a straight line. Well, here's hoping I see you on the other side. They grabbed each other's hands, closed their eyes, and walked forward. Inside was a crystal fountain with two large fairy statues facing in towards each other. They were holding up a replica of the Triforce. The walls were made of a smooth stone unfamiliar to them, and it reflected every bit of light that touched its surface. The water in the fountain was as clear as day. Is everyone here? All seemed okay until they noticed Malon's hands missing. I thought that might happen. Mido looked at Saria and told her to hurry. Those things may find us soon, so don't take too long. Mido turned and headed back outside, but she was nowhere to be found. He stepped back through the mirage. She's not out here. Why do you think you are to enter my realm? Who do you think you are to enter my realm? Oops. The voice was feminine yet deep with a harsh tone. Smoke billowed from the water and a large fairy appeared in front of them. She was even bigger than a Goron, and her hair was as green as the leaves that grew on the trees. Well? I am Saria, and this is Mido. Although she was nervous, Saria stepped forward. We have come to ask you for your assistance. We would also like to know what happened to the other girl that was with us. The fairy looked down at them both. I sent the girl to the village. She has no reason to be here. She crossed her arms and sat in midair. And what sort of assistance do you need from me? Mido spoke up before Saria could think of what to say. Our friend is in the village about to die. We need you to heal him. I know he's not Kokiri, but he was raised as one. Saria just stared in amazement. Wow, I've never known you could be so nice. Mido just turned his head in embarrassment. As usual, he didn't want to show the real Mido. If I help him, one of you must give up your life in return. Both looked at each other, and Saria spoke just before Mido could. I'll do it. Mido shook in disagreement. Before they knew it, they, along with the fairy, had appeared back in Kokiri village. There they saw Malon clutching Link. Let him be. I will heal him. She brought her hands together in a praying position, and Link's body began to glow. They watched as the wound completely closed. The blood was still stained on his shirt and smeared where the hole used to be. And smeared where the hole used to be. He was fully healed. Now the matter of your life. She pointed at Saria. What? Malon jumped in protest. You can't. Saria stopped Malon from saying anything else. This is what has to be done. The fairy pointed at Saria, and she started to glow herself. There was a flash of light, and the fairy disappeared. Saria was left standing there. Everyone was staring and confused. I have given you my power so that you may aid the destined one. By giving up your daily life, you shall have a new adventure-filled one. Now go and help save Hyrule. Time is of the essence. Silence filled their home once more. They looked back and forth at one another while wondering if what had happened was real. So, is anyone going to help me up? Everyone snapped out of their shock and looked at Link. I may be healed, but I can still feel some pain. Malon reached out a hand and helped him stand. So what happened to you, Saria? He retrieved the sword that was still on the ground and put it in a sheath that magically appeared around his shoulders. Do you feel any different? Well, I feel a surge of magic coursing through my veins, so that's new. Link took his knife out and cut his palm open. So let's test it. All at once, almost in unison, they yelled, Are you crazy? Saria just shook her head and went along with it. She put her hands over top of his open hand. Nothing happened. Just concentrate. She heard the Great Fairy's voice. She took a minute to concentrate, and Link's hand was glowing. The wound closed right up. I did it. She was jumping around joyfully. Aren't you forgetting something? A little voice sprang out of nowhere. While you guys were off on your little adventure, I had to stay here and protect Link. A blue light appeared from behind him. I'm pretty sure some of you met, but this is Navi. She was sent by the Deku Tree. Why don't you tell them what you told me? Everyone gathered around the little blue fairy as she started to tell her tale. As the Kokiri and Link know, we fairies are born from the essence of the Deku Tree. He saw danger approaching and gave birth to me. I stayed high in his branches and listened to their conversation. Where is the ring? Dark Link approached the tree and touched his base. A shadow started to rise up and cover him. The great Deku Tree began to scream in pain. Tell me where to find it. You shall never obtain it. No amount of evil shall ever be able to touch it. Sap sprang from his eyes, which symbolized tears. His screaming continued as the darkness rose further. You can avoid all this pain if you just tell me where it is. He pulled his hand away to give the tree a chance to speak. Even if you somehow got a hold of it, you would never be able to use it. Dark Link returned his hand. Stop wasting time and tell me. Before I tell you, I must know why. The darkness receded again, and Dark Link just laughed. Ha! The greatest enemy that Hyrule has ever seen needs the ring to become unstoppable. He has the princess. Now all he needs are the 3 rings. Like I said, you would never be able to use them. The rings will do nothing without the final piece. The tree gave a quick smile at that thought. Oh, he already knows. He has known since his creation. For the final time, Dark Link placed his hand upon the tree's base, and with one last scream he told him where to find it. It's hidden where those that do not belong will inevitably perish. With his last bit of energy, he whispered to me. He told me to tell Link what happened and to find Saria. He then gave me a seed from the branch above and told me to plant it in the sanctuary he found deep in Lost Woods. So he really is dead. Mido, the last one you'd expect began to cry. What are we supposed to do now? Navi flew right up to his face. Are you that stupid? She flew away and returned with the seed. Were you even paying attention when I told you that he gave me a seed and told me to plant it? Feeling stupid and a bit embarrassed, he dried up his tears. Now let's figure out what we're going to do. Link stepped into the middle of the group. Sorry, I'm Mido. You two can go plant the seed and tell everyone it's safe to return. Malon and I will build temporary ladders until wood from the new Deku Tree can be harvested. Navi, well, you can... not sure what you can do. Everyone once again went their separate ways and set off to do their tasks. Since Link was raised as a Kokiri, constructing was his specialty, and he finished two in record time. Mido and Saria made it to the sanctuary with no trouble. Everyone greeted them as if they were heroes. They planted the seed in the back of the sanctuary, and with everyone else, returned to the village. They decided to sleep that night. Link, Malon, Saria, and Navi would then leave in the morning. Malon stayed with Saria, which Saria was pretty resistant. Navi, for some odd reason, had slept in a tree. Link that night, however, had nightmares about this new enemy. He was for once in his life scared. He almost died with his first encounter. How was he supposed to defeat an enemy that he could not cut? He hoped that heading to Kakariko would yield some answers. It seemed he was asking more questions than those that were being answered. In the morning, they all gathered just outside the village. They tried figuring out who would ride Epona and who would walk with while wearing the robe. Seeing as how the robe is too big for Saria, she'll have to ride until we can get her one. And that leaves us with me and Malon. He looked at Malon. For now, I want to test something, so you can either walk or ride Epona with her. He unsheathed his new sword. This sword was born of darkness, and even though I cleansed most of it, I want to see if I can pass through the fields unharmed. Are you stupid? Saria walked up to him and nearly slapped him. Malon caught her hand just before it hit. I think a little trial and error never hurt. Besides, we need to get a better understanding of that sword. Why would he have left it with Link? I'll ride Epona with you, and if something goes wrong, we can just toss the robe over top of him. Saria wasn't happy, but She agreed nonetheless. Both got up on the horse. Link grabbed the reins and started walking. He stopped right where Hyrule Field started and looked back. Mido was there waving goodbye. Well, here goes nothing. He walked out onto the barren land, and to his surprise, he was right. He was perfectly fine. Wait, where's Navi? Just then a tiny voice could be heard. Don't forget about me. She rounded the corner and almost flew right into Link. Sorry, I just laughed. It serves you right for sleeping in and deciding to sleep alone. The blue fairy stuck her tongue out at Saria and proceeded to rest on Link's shoulder. With everyone finally assembled, they could get back to heading to his original intended destination, Kakariko.